Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Seema, and this is my daughter Jasmine, and we're both from London.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Leo. I'm from London. This is my friend Chris. He's from Durham.
Couple number three.
Hello, my name's Charlie. This is my wife Christine, and we're from Alnwick in Northumberland.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, my name's Miles. This is my daughter Kiva. We're both from Belfast, and I live in Armagh.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It's wonderful to have you all here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, a TV presenter who grew up as one of 4 sisters, so I expect she won't struggle to be heard today. It is my Pointless friend. It's Angela Scanlon.
I don't know. These look like a pretty lively bunch.
I
but
think
yeah,
maybe.
a lot of hormones in a house.
Where'd you
of 4
come in
girls.
the running order?
Second from the top.
So my wife is one of 4 sisters, and she's second from the top as
Oh,
well. So
really?
well done.
For surviving, you mean?
I think any
Complicated.
family dynamic is has its strains.
It sure
and its
does.
lovely benefits too.
Absolutely.
So there we are.
He's a diplomat.
Yes. Anyway, and you, if I may say, a fabulous co-host.
Thank you very
so
much.
enjoying
I'm
this.
loving it.
Good. Well now, Rosie and Daniel got through to the final last time, and they did win the jackpot, which means today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. There it is. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, I just have to remind you of this before we start. It's the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated, so keep your scores as low as you possibly can, and that will never be you. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category today is astronomical names. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns definitions of constellations in English, Angela.
Now, on each board, we're going to show you the Latin names of 7 of the constellations in the night sky, together with the definition of the equivalent English name for each one. Please give us the English name that you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. To help, we'll also give you the first letter of each answer and the number of letters it contains.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our first board of 7 clues. Here they come. Draco, a mythical monster, often represented as a huge winged reptile that breathes fire. D6. Scutum, a broad piece of armour, usually carried on the arm as a defence against offensive weapons. S6. Parvo, a large bird distinguished by its ability to spread its long iridescent tail in a fan. P7. Camelopardalis, an African ruminant mammal with a very long neck and legs. G7. Era, a raised place or structure where religious rites are performed. A5. Cygnus, an aquatic bird with a long, slender neck and adult plumage that's typically white. S4. And Sagitta, a long, slender, pointed missile that is shot from a bow. A5. Jasmine, welcome back to Pointless. Great to have you here again. We need to know more about you, Jasmine.
Well, it's great to see you too again, Xander.
Well, thank you very much.
On the topic of siblings, I'm an only child. So me and my mum have a really good relationship, which I guess is one of the reasons why we're here together on this show today.
That's very nice indeed. Did you have imaginary friends growing up? I don't know why I assumed this.
Did you?
No, but I had too many. I was crowded by family members. Did you? No, they often say that only children do have sort of imaginary friends.
Not quite, but I did have a pet fish.
You had a pet fish?
Yes.
Very nice. Pet fish with a name?
Pudge.
Pudge.
Pudge the fish.
Answers to Pudge.
Yes.
I'm not
answers
sure
to
pet
Pudge.
fish answer to anything.
Yeah, they don't.
Which is why we love them. Aloof creatures that they are. Jasmine, what are you going to go for on our board?
I'm going to go with Pavo and say peacock.
Parvo, peacock. Shall we see if that's right? How many of our 100 people said peacock? Peacock is right. Down it goes 57. It's what we call a solid star. Go.
Nice. The constellation was introduced by a Dutch astronomer, and it's thought he named it to represent the Java green peacock, which some Dutch navigators may have encountered on their journey to the East Indies.
There we are, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Love peacocks.
Leo, welcome back. I have a feeling this is your third show.
Think it is, yes.
Tell us a bit more about yourself, Leo.
Music's my main interest, I'd say. Play bass in bands, help out at a lot of gigs and go to a lot of gigs.
Helping out at gigs. See, that's a nice thing to do. With your own band, or do you help out at other people?
Mostly on the doors.
Bit of
So
excellent.
I've got a list of people and tick them off, give them wristbands. Technically a bouncer, but I don't really look like a bouncer.
Don't do any bouncing. Don't you?
You just need a coat.
Yes, you need a big coat and a bit of wire. It's all. It doesn't have to be connected to anything. You just need
No.
it. Leo, what are you going to go for on our board here?
So I think I know all of these. I'm going to go with Ara and say altar.
Altar for Ara, says Leo. Should we see how many of our 100 said altar? Altar is right. 57 is our only score, and you fly past it. 45 is where you end up with altar. Well done, Leo.
Very good. The constellation Ara represents the altar on which Zeus and other Greek gods swore their allegiance before they went to war with the Titans.
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 Thank
Sounds
you
like a
very-
gladiator name, is it?
It certainly would pass as one. I'm
It'd be
sure it
good.
hasn't. Has it not yet been used?
Maybe it'll be yours when you do the
Surely. I
celeb
think
version.
it will be, if it's still
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
If others haven't taken it, thank you very much indeed. Store that one away. Charlie, welcome back to Pointless. We must know more about you, Charlie.
Well, I'm retired now. I had a job that took me all over the world. And one occasion, coming back from New York on a Friday evening, I got there early and British Airways bumped me off the flight and put me up in a hotel and flew me back on Concorde the next morning.
Oh, well, that's okay. Very sort of narrow, long tube full of famous people.
Oh, like a sports car of a
yes. Extraordinary.
Wow.
What a wonderful memory, Charlie. What would you like to go for?
plane. Well, I was going to go for Ara. I thought that would be the best on the board, but I think I'll go for Scutum, a shield.
OK, shield for Scutum. Should we see how many of our 100 people said shield? Shield's right. Well, 57 remains our high score, and you pass that. Look at that, Scutum down to 39, Charlie. Very well done indeed.
This constellation is unique because it's the only one named after a non-classical historical figure. It was named by an astronomer to commemorate the Polish king's victory in the Battle of Vienna in 1683.
There we are. Thank you
There
very
you go
much.
now.
Indeed. Kiva, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Introduce yourself to the room.
Well, my name's Kiva. I'm 25 from Northern Ireland and I'm here with my dad. We've been long-time watchers of Pointless and first time ever on the show.
Here you are. Actually part of the Pointless family. Lovely to have you here. What keeps you busy, Kiva, over in Ireland?
Usually photography. I enjoy photography in my spare time.
Excellent. Very nice. Now, what would you like to go for on this board? This board is all yours. Can you supply the English names for these Latin constellations?
I'm pretty sure the top one is a dragon. The next one that's free would be a giraffe. Then Cygnus would be swan. Probably going to have to go with Sagitta arrow.
Sagitta, arrow. Let's see where we end up with arrow. Arrow is right. 57 still our high score. I'm sorry about that. Oh, Kiva, I'm sorry. 67 for arrow.
Kiva took us perfectly through the board, but the best three answers had already been given. We have dragon, Draco, up the top at 62, giraffe at 61, and swan, as you mentioned, would have given you 59.
Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 39, Charlie and Christine. Very well done indeed. Then we travel from 39 to 45, where we find Leo and Chris. From there to 57, where we find Jasmine and Seema. And from there up to 67, where we find Kiva and Miles. I mean, who knows what will happen in the next pass? But let's see if you can find a low-scoring answer on the next board, Miles. Good luck. We're going to come back down the line now with the second players. Please step up to the podium. OK, let us put 7 more Latin names of constellations on the board. Here they are. Horologium, an instrument for measuring and indicating time, especially by mechanical means, C. 5. Delphinus, A marine mammal, typically smaller than a whale and having a beak-like snout. D, 7. Carina, the central structural member that extends lengthwise along the bottom of a ship. K, 4. Crater, a small container, typically with a handle used chiefly as a drinking vessel. C, 3. Fornax, a chamber in which heat is produced, for example, to generate steam or to smelt metals. F, 7. Vulpecula, a canine mammal, typically with large pointed ears, a pointed muzzle and a bushy tail. F, 3. And Grus, a large wading bird that inhabits marshes and plains in many parts of the world. C, 5. Miles, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Miles.
Hi, and so I work as an internal auditor for a large Irish charity called Trucra, and they operate all over the world.
Very good indeed. And do you work just in the Northern Irish branch of that, or do you travel the world as well?
No, I travel the world, so I'm just back from Nairobi, actually. So, and they operate in 23 countries all over the world.
Very exciting, Miles. Now, you are on 67. You are our high scorers. So, yes, we're looking for a nice low score here. Have you isolated one that might get you into round 2?
Well, I think I know most of them, but I think I will go for Carina, which I believe is a keel.
You're going to go for Carina, which is a keel. Shall we see how many of our 100 said keel? There's no red line for you as you're the high scorers at the moment. Keel is right. That goes down to 39. Very well done indeed. That takes your total up to 106.
Carina contains the second brightest star in the sky, Canopus.
There we are. Thank you. Now, Christine, welcome back to Pointless.
Thank you.
Great. I have to tell you, something wonderful happened on the floor before we started filming today. Frosty, our floor manager, came in and said, "Oh, it's..." He doesn't call you Christine.
Certainly not.
Mrs.
Mrs. Scott.
Mrs. Scott. He says, Mrs. Scott. She was his English teacher for 7 years.
Stop.
I mean, he can barely string 2 sentences together, but still. Christine, that was an exciting moment.
It was. It's thrilling.
Ah, well, so, Christine, you're on 39. You have a target score of 66 or less.
Right. OK. I might go for furnace. Fornax.
For Fornax. Furnace. Shall we see how many of our 100 said furnace? You get a red line, Christine, and it comes in here. Furnace. Furnace, absolutely right. And you are through to round 2. Very well done indeed. 48 is what that score is, taking your total up to 87.
Now, the Frenchman who named it in the 1750s called it Fornax Chemica, after the small fuel heater used for chemical experiments in 1845. It was shortened to its present name, Fornax.
There, I think it's nicer. Fornax.
It's catchier.
You don't want chemical furnace.
I mean, who needs that?
The chemicals up there.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know what it's doing, right?
We know. Thank you very much indeed, Angela, for putting the record straight. Chris, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us again for your third show from Durham.
From Durham.
Tell us a bit more about yourself, Chris.
So when I was younger, I played a lot of chess. So I used to play lots of local tournaments and win trophies and stuff. But recently I've been trying to pick it back up. It's a bit of a learning curve again, not quite as good as I used to be, but...
That's really weird. One would imagine that maybe your tactics would still be there.
I forget a lot of it. It's been years.
You've forgotten all the conventions.
I remember the moves, but yeah.
Remember that. Yeah. Well, that's good. Nice to fire up the furnace again. Now, Chris, you're on 45. We're looking at a score of 60 or less for you. Well, what are the English names of these constellations?
I'll go for the bottom one and say Crane.
Crane, says Chris. Gets a small nod from Leo, which I think is a good sign.
Hopefully.
Here is your red line. Nice and high. Where do we end up with Crane? Crane, absolutely right. Gets you through, you see. There we go, 35. Very well done indeed, taking your total up to a lovely round 80.
I feel like Leo's nod was his bouncer nod. That's what you get if you're late in the queue.
That means you're in.
That means you're in. Now, Crane, its brightest star is Alnair, which is derived from the Arabic for the bright one.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thank you, yes. Seema, welcome back to Pointless. Lovely to have you with us again. Let's hear more about you, Seema.
I like keeping active in my spare time. I do dancing, I do a lot of yoga, and recently I've done Reformer Pilates.
Reformer Pilates?
Yes.
So tell me what reformer Pilates is.
It's this evil-looking device, like
Yeah.
a torture chamber.
Oh, no, this
It's got-
sounds like other Pilates too, but yeah, so you're on that thing, the springy
That's the
thing.
one. It's got a carriage that moves up and down. It's got cables.
Yeah.
It's a great all-over body workout.
Yes.
Dangerous.
I mean, really dangerous. Very good. Now, Seema, 57 is your score at the moment. 48 or less is what we need. Would you like to talk us through this board?
Right, the top one is clock. The one below it is dolphin. The fourth one down is a cup. And the second from the bottom is fox. I'm going to go for the the second from the bottom one.
Vulpecula.
That's the one. And
There
go
we
for
are.
Fox.
Fox. OK. Here is your red line. Can we get you below that with fox? Where's right, Seema? 57, exactly the same score as Jasmine had in the first pass. But I'm afraid it takes your total up to 114.
Yes, Seema, you took us through the board pretty well there. But again, the best 3 scores had already been taken, so there's nothing that you could have done. Shall we have a look at the rest of the scores?
Yes.
So clock up top, 53. Dolphin, I love dolphins, 62. Cup, 61. Also love cups. What would we do without them?
Well, you're right. We'd spill a lot of stuff down our shirts is what we'd do.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Well, we are at the end of our first round. It also means we have to say goodbye to our first pair, Seema and Jasmine. I'm so sorry. Nothing wrong with either of your answers. Just together, they added up to quite a lot. So we have to say goodbye now. We'll see you next time. Look forward to it. Seema and Jasmine, brilliant.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, now time for round 2. Well, very, very well done, everybody. You made it through that round fabulously. Our category for round 2 today is famous people in artworks. Can you all decide in your pairs who wants to go first, who wants to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns women depicted in the National Portrait Gallery's Work in Progress mural. Angela.
Yes, Work in Progress is a mural co-created by the artists Jan Haworth and Liberty Blake and is displayed at the National Portrait Gallery. It showcases 130 women who have made significant contributions to British history and culture. We're going to show you pictures of 16 of the women who are portrayed in the mural. Please name the one who you think is the most obscure.
Thank you very much indeed. So, we are now going to put this image up with 16 faces on it. We will leave it up for the whole round, so that doesn't change halfway through. Here comes the image. And there are the faces.
Iconic.
Just giving you a moment to absorb them all. And then Leo, coming to you. Who would you like to name on that board?
Unfortunately, I don't know enough of these. I think I might have to take a risk here. So I will go Ada Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace, says Leo. Shall we see how many of our 100 said Ada Lovelace? Absolutely right, Leo. You say you may not have known many on that board, but you knew some very good ones, clearly. And that's a pointless answer. Ada Lovelace, being a pointless answer, adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £1,250, and it scores you nothing and gets the round off to a terrific start. Very well done indeed, Leo.
Nice work. Ada Lovelace is known as the first computer programmer. Well done.
Amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Charlie.
I can see 2 that I recognise, but I'm going to follow suit and take a punt that Elizabeth Fry's up there.
Elizabeth Fry. Shall we see, is Elizabeth Fry up there? Oh, no. Would that she were, Charlie. Would that she were. I'm afraid she's not. We've gone from one extreme to the other. That scores you 100 points. Sorry.
We'll give the right answer at the end of the round.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Kiva. Can you name these women from the Work in Progress mural?
I'm not 100% sure on most of them, so I'm just going to play it very safe and go Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse, says Kiva. Should we see how many of our 100 said that? Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse gets you down to 60.
What a woman. In 2024, Radio 1 presenters voted for the best performance in the 25 years of Radio 1's Live Lounge. And Amy Winehouse, with her cover of Valerie, came first. It's quite cool, isn't it?
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. Well, before we come back down the line, let's have a look at those scores. Nothing, the best score of the pass. Very well done indeed, Leo. And then go from there to 60, which is where we find Miles and Kiva. And then up to 100. I mean, it's 100, but it was for the right reason. So, yes, let's see what happens on the next pass. Christine, good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Now then, Miles. There you are on 60, which means 39 or less gets you straight into the head-to-head. Can you identify these women?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not very sure with some of the names. I know they're on the tip of my tongue, but I think I will go for Kate Bush. Who I believe
You are going to go for Kate Bush. Shall we see if Kate Bush is there? Shall we see how many of our 100 said it? If she is, here is your red line. Kate Bush is right and gets you through. Very well done indeed. 33 for Kate Bush, taking your total up to 93.
In an interview, Kate Bush revealed that she originally intended to sell her songs to a publisher rather than sing them for herself. Very glad, I think.
Oh, she was such a key part of those songs, wasn't she? I mean, her personality was what?
Yeah,
That
wild
sort of
woman.
otherworldliness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, quite
Love
right.
her.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Christine, we come to you. It is your turn. I'm afraid you are still our high scorers.
Yes,
A pointless answer from you could keep you in the game.
could do. Maybe not the best pitch, but I think that's Carol Ann Duffy.
Carol Ann Duffy.
Yeah, I think
Shall
that's
we
it.
see Carol Ann Duffy? No red line, as I say, because you're the high scorers. How many of our 100 people said that? Carol Ann Duffy. It is Carol Ann Duffy. Christine, this is very good. It's exactly what I said. It wouldn't hurt if you got one of those. It's a pointless answer. Being a pointless answer, it adds another £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £1,500. It leaves your total at 100.
Wish you no ill, Chris, but...
Yeah.
Christine. Carol Ann Duffy was the first female poet laureate. She is an award-winning Scottish poet, best known for writing love poems that often take the form of monologues. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed. Chris, I'm not going to let you talk us through the board because there is a scenario. It's a very unlikely one, but I think you probably...
But yeah.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Who would you like to go for?
Yeah, I don't think it's her, but I'm going to have to go anyway. I'm going to say Lolly Adefobe.
Lolly Adefobe, you get a red line. And it is way up there. Lolly Adefobe, is it right? No! That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 100. We find ourselves in a tie situation, which means I'm going to take an answer from each of the pairs. You can confer before you give your answers. And we start with Chris and Leo, so feel free to confer and tell us one more person on this board.
I think we're going to guess here again. I can't quite remember the surname, so I hope it's right. I'm going to go with Margaret Smith.
Margaret Smith.
If it's who I think it is.
Margaret Smith, say Chris and Leo. Now then, Charlie and Christine.
I don't know who Margaret Smith is. I am going to take a chance on Joan Armour-Trading.
Joan Armour-Trading. So we have Margaret Smith and Joan Armour-Trading. Chris and Leo went for Margaret Smith. Is that right? How many people said it if it is? No red line. Your joint high scorers. No, not Margaret Smith, which means, Charlie and Christine, you do get a red line, and it's up there on 99. You're saying Joan Armour-Trading. Let's see how many people said that. Absolutely right, Joan Armour-Trading. Down he goes to 10, taking your total up to 110. Very well done.
Maybe you were thinking of Margaret Hamilton, who was a programmer for the moon landings?
Yes.
She's not up there, I'm afraid. OK, let's clear this up. Top, Vivienne Westwood. Queen of the Corsets would have gotten you 20. Then let's go to Tanny Gray-Thompson, top right, would have scored you 7. Nicola Adams at 6. Emma Thompson scored 21. Shirley Bassey, 50. Virginia Woolf, 3. Kate Moss, 32 down the bottom. Helen Sharman scored 3. And that's Emmeline Pankhurst. She was pointless. Zadie Smith was also a pointless answer. And Kate Adie would have scored you 8.
Wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, Angela. That brings us to the end of our second round. It also means we have to say goodbye to our second pair, Chris and Leo. This is where we say farewell. It's been great. What's been particularly lovely is where the pair of you have met. Actually, finally, having been friends online for years. But you played incredibly well. I'm sorry we're saying goodbye to you so soon. Anyway, thanks so much. Chris and Leo. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Charlie and Christine, Miles and Kiva. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,500. However, before we play the head-to-head, we have a chance to put some more money into that jackpot by seeing if we can find a couple of pointless answers. So here goes, for fun. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words in the song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious as they could, Angela.
How did you not sing it?
Well, I mean, I had to hold myself back.
You'll see 6 options. 2 are scoring, 2 are pointless, and 2 are not words that feature in the song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from the film Mary Poppins at all. 250 quid in the jackpot for each pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. OK, here are the 6 possible answers. Can you spot the 2 pointless answers? And we have clever, diddle, Prison colonensinine choosel, indubitably, rooftops, docious aliexpiistic fragicalirupus.
4th and 6th are definitely words.
I don't think that one beginning P is... I think that's a red herring.
Indubitably and the last one are definitely words in the song.
What would you like to go for, Charlie and Christine?
You want to go for indubitably?
Yeah, go on. I think it's in there.
Yeah, we'll go for indubitably.
Indubitably. Should we see if indubitably is a pointless word from supercalifragilistic, etc.? Indubitably is definitely in it. And it's a pointless answer. Very well done indeed, Charlie and Christine. Now then, Miles and Kiva, can you spot the other pointless answer?
I'm going to go for the bottom one.
So the bottom one is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards, and it's in the song, so we'll go for it.
You're going to go for it? Yeah. Docious, etc. Should we see how many of our 100 people said that one? It's definitely in the song, as you say. And it's the other pointless answer. Very well done indeed. Fabulous work.
Double whammy. Indubitably, you are right. Bert says it after Mary Poppins says supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards. And that one at the bottom, I'm not going to attempt to do it, is technically supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards, but actually isn't quite right, but maybe easier to say than the reality. Clever and Diddle also scored points, 1 and 2, respectively. That guy, number 3.
Colonensinine choisel.
Is a red herring. It's an Italian song from the 70s. The lyrics are gibberish, but also meant to mimic what US English sounds like to non-English speakers. And then Rooftops, also a red herring. It appears in the lyrics to a different Mary Poppins song, Step in Time. Also a banger.
Thank you very much indeed. And well done. You managed to find not one, but both pointless answers, which means we can add £500 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to a splendid £2,000. But who'll be playing for it? Well, we'll find out in the head-to-head. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot, and you are now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Best of luck to both pairs. Here is our first question, and it is all about scarlet things, Angela.
5 clues now to facts about scarlet, whether it's spelt with 1 T or 2. Doesn't matter. Please give what you think is the lowest scoring one.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 scarlet clues. Here they come. A Study in Scarlet featured the first appearance of this famous literary detective. US rapper whose 2023 album Scarlet contained the UK #1 song Paint the Town Red. First name of the alter ego of Scarlet Witch, played on screen by Elizabeth Olsen. Martian race, who are the enemies of Captain Scarlet in Jerry Anderson's 1960s puppet series. And surname of Scarlet, the former Gogglebox star who won the 2016 series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. There we are. Charlie and Christine will go first.
Right, we're going to go for the Martian race, who are the enemies of Captain Scarlet, and that's the Mysterons.
The Mysterons, say Charlie and Christine. Now, Miles and Kiva, can you talk us through the rest of that board?
I think a study in Scarlet is Sherlock Holmes, and we know that the US rapper is Doja Cat. Do you know any of the rest of them?
No, just be guessing.
We'd just be guessing. I think we're going to go with Doja Cat.
Doja Cat. So we have the Mysterons versus Doja Cat. Charlie and Christine went for the Mysterons, the Martian race. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. Mysterons is absolutely right, and it scores you 18. Meanwhile, Miles and Kiva have gone for Doja Cat for the US rapper with the album Scarlet. How many of our 100 said Doja Cat? Doja Cat is right. And it wins it for you. Very well done indeed. Down it goes to 10. And it means Miles and Kiva, after one question, you're up 1-0.
You were right not to go for Sherlock Holmes. 22, it would have gotten you. Wanda at 12, or Scarlett Moffat, 24. So well done.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, here comes our second question. Charlie and Christine, you need to win this one to stay in the game, so good luck. Our second question today is all about noughties fashion, Angela.
OK, this is my wheelhouse, but I'm not going to give anything away. We're about to show you 5 images showing fashion items that were popular in the noughties, along with alternate letters in their names. We would like you to tell us which you think is the most obscure, please.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 noughties fashions, and here they are. We have A, BLEPMS, B, SINJAS, C, VLUTAKUT, D, HNKRHESIT, and E, COPDCRIA.
I genuinely thought noughties fashion was quite a good era. That is abominable. Happy to see the back of it, no? Wow.
So there we are. Now, Miles and Kiva, you will go first.
What do you think? I think we're going to go for C, as a velour tracksuit.
Velour tracksuit, say Miles and Kiva. Now then, Charlie and Christine, can you talk us through that board?
Would I could, but I
A
can't.
is something pumps. B is
Skinny jeans.
D is something skirt.
But we're going for cropped cardigan.
Cropped cardigan. So we have velour tracksuit and cropped cardigan. Miles and Kiva went for velour tracksuit for C. Should we see how many of our 100 said that? Velour tracksuit. Down to 20. Meanwhile, Charlie and Christine have gone for cropped cardigan for E. Should we see how many of our 100 said that? Cropped cardigan. Oh, look! Wins it for you. Very well done indeed. 18 for cropped cardigan. You're back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
So, pumps up the top. You were halfway there. Ballet pumps, although they don't look particularly balletic in this. 21. Skinny jeans, 43 you got. And handkerchief skirt would have gotten you 13. Thank God it is no longer a thing.
Thank you very much indeed, Angela. Right, here comes your third question. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question is all about Trivial Pursuit categories, Angela.
Yes, we are going to show you 5 of the categories for which you can win a coloured segment in the classic board game Trivial Pursuit. But we have rearranged the letters of each word into alphabetical order. Please give us the category that you think the fewest of our 100 could work out.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal the alphabetic anagrams of these categories. Eg hopri, oprst and eilsru, eimnert, skins and enertu, and hyarsti. Charlie and Christine will go first.
Something.
What do you want to go for?
Sport and leisure.
Sport and leisure, then.
We'll go for sport and leisure.
OK, you're going to go for sport and leisure. Sport and leisure. Miles and Kiva, do you want to talk us through that board?
Okay, so top one's geography, then entertainment, science and nature, and history.
Science and nature.
Well, I think we're going for science and nature.
Science and nature. So we have sport and leisure and science and nature. Charlie and Christine went for sport and leisure. Should we see how many of our 100 said that? No, I'm afraid not. Meanwhile, Miles and Kiva, you merely have to be correct with science and nature and you will win this point. Just have to be correct. Absolutely right. Very well done indeed. That wins you the point. Goes down to 35, but it was right and it wins you the point. And it means after 3 questions, Miles and Kiva, you are through to the final 2-1.
It was sports and leisure. And sports and leisure scored 23. You were so close, but because all of the letters are up there, we had to accept the exact answer, sports and leisure. Sorry. Geography was 69 at the top of the board. Entertainment at 28 and history at 86.
Thank you very much indeed. That brings us to the end of our head-to-head round. It means we say goodbye to Charlie and Christine. Until next time, we'll look forward to seeing you then for your 3rd and final attempt on the Pointless Final. But thanks so much for playing, Charlie and Christine. For Miles and Kiva, though, it is now time for the Pointless Final. Congratulations, Miles and Kiva. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless Trophy. You now have a chance to win the Pointless Jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,000. There we are. We've doubled it across the show, which is fantastic, and partly thanks to you. Shall we see what appears on the board? 4 things as ever. And today's selection is this. Capitals of Culture, Boys on TV, the 2023 Netball World Cup, Gilbert and Sullivan.
Capitals of culture, maybe?
You
Capital
would
city?
have to take the lead on it.
It's just guessing capital cities.
Would you? Okay, yeah. Capitals of culture.
OK, Capitals of Culture it is.
We are looking for the name of anywhere that has held the title of European Capital of Culture, which has been given to cities across Europe since 1985. Or the name of anywhere that has held the title American Capital of Culture, which has been given to cities and states in Latin America and the Caribbean since 2000. This is up to and including 2024 holders. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. As always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right. What are you thinking?
I'm pretty sure Derry was the city of culture, but I'm not sure if it was UK or European.
Well,
we should go for Vienna, just as...
yeah, Vienna.
An American, I'm sure. New Orleans, perhaps.
Well, New Orleans is always a safe bet.
Yeah.
I think at this point we're just going to be guessing. So,
Memphis, maybe.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's 4 choices.
I'm
not 100% sure about Derry, but we could go for it.
Well, yeah, we might as well take the risk. I mean,
Yeah.
we've made it to the end.
Yeah.
What
So
else?
Derry, Vienna, and either New Orleans or Memphis. What?
Well, shall we go New Orleans? Yeah.
We're ready.
OK, you're good. There we are. We'll stop the clock. Let's have your 3 answers then.
Okay, so we're not 100% sure, but Derry City,
Derry,
Vienna,
Vienna,
and New Orleans.
And New Orleans in the second category?
Yes.
OK, so of those three, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
If it's right, Derry.
Yeah, if it's
OK,
right.
Derry we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
New Orleans will be popular.
New Orleans, and then we put Vienna in the middle. So New Orleans, Vienna, Derry.
Yes.
OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order. And here they are. We have New Orleans, Vienna, Derry. If one of these turns out to be pointless, you'll be leaving here with £2,000. What would you like to do with that? Miles, I'm going to ask you first.
Oh, I think that would be a nice weekend away somewhere. That would be...
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Kiva?
I think I'm going to go the same. Probably a nice trip somewhere warm during winter. You know?
Oh, but how perfect. Very good. Well, let's hope one of these answers does it for you. New Orleans is your first answer. In this case, we're looking for American capitals of culture. If New Orleans is right and pointless, £2,000 is yours. Not New Orleans. So we turn our attention now to European capitals of culture for the next two answers. Vienna is the first of those you've gone for. Let's find out if that is right. And if that is pointless, surely Vienna. Oh, no! Not Vienna. So we now turn our attention to Derry. Everything is now riding on Derry. Should we see if Derry is right? Should we see how many of our 100 people said it? For £2,000, might Derry be pointless? No! Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, as guesses go, I mean, they seemed absolutely perfect cities to be cities of culture. But there we are. I'm afraid they weren't. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot. But you do take home today's pointless trophy. So very, very well done indeed for that, Miles and Kiva.
Great attempt. Derry was a UK city of culture, not a European capital of culture. So easy mistake to make. And the American capitals of culture have all been awarded to Latin American and Caribbean cities, so not in the USA. Let's have a look at some of the pointless answers, starting with European capitals of culture. Cork, Istanbul, Porto, Stockholm. Loads of pointless here. Antwerp, Bologna, Galway as well. If you named any city that was a city of culture, it was pretty much pointless here. Now, moving on to American capitals of culture, here are some of the pointless answers you could have had. Asunción in Paraguay, Cordoba, Argentina, Panama City in Panama, and Santo Domingo in Dominican Republic. The only scoring answers here were Santiago, Brasilia, Ibagué, Merida, and Quito. Everything else was pointless. Well done at home if you got any of those.
Thank you very much, Angela, and thanks, Miles and Kiva. I'm sorry you didn't get to win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £3,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Angela. And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.